who your opening day starter is at quarterback, will you also set the pecking order following, meaning quarterback 2, 3, and 4, or will there be a competition right through Cincinnati week?
Yeah, well, I'll talk to we'll have the team in tomorrow, so I'll be able to talk through a bunch of different things with our players. But in terms of, where people are, first string, second string, those type of things, not really thinking about that.
Kevin Stefanski finds himself back under fire, and this time the voices of doubt are growing stronger as his choice to start Dillon Gabriel in the recent matchup has left both fans and experts raising questions about his judgment. What has caught even more attention is his sudden reluctance to openly discuss the Shedeur Sanders situation. This is the same coach who not long ago laid out the depth chart with confidence, yet now he avoids giving any clear answer about where things stand. So what shifted? Is Stefanski shielding his quarterbacks from more pressure, or is he trying to stay clear of the storm that seems ready to hit? Let us break everything down.
This year will be that joint practice in week 1. And then this year, just feel like that's what this team needs to get ready. Try to every single year make decisions based on what the guys need. So that's what we'll do.
In his most recent press conference, Kevin Stefanski looked uneasy and completely unprepared. The long pauses and hesitation made it clear he was unwilling to face questions about the quarterback situation, especially when the name of Shedeur Sanders came up when asked why he intends to play the regular quarterback in the third preseason game this year after avoiding it the previous season. His reply was unclear at best. His exact words were, "We do what the players need." But here is the issue. Shedeur has not been given real game time, nor has he practiced with the first team. So how can Stefanski suggest these choices are about player growth when the one player the fans want to see has not been given that chance? The entire explanation feels hollow, and the confusion around his stance keeps growing when pressed again about the quarterback decision. His answer was, "We will decide in a couple of days." But honestly, how can any coach select a starting quarterback in only 2 days? That is not a strategy, that is simply delaying the truth, and fans recognize what this really suggests. Even with all the pressure, Stefanski still seems prepared to push Shedeur Sanders aside, and now his statements carry very little trust.
What do you plan to do at quarterback for the dress rehearsal game, and what is the timeline for naming week 1 starter?
Yeah, I want to get through the next couple days, but certainly that's something that we're going to do here sooner than later.
And when the topic shifted to Shedeur Sanders, Kevin Stefanski did not hesitate. He stated directly that Shedeur would not be returning this week, but the way he delivered the message felt almost too relaxed. It did not sound like a coach worried about the health of his quarterback. It came across more like a sense of relief that he could avoid the Shedeur discussion a little longer. That is exactly the feeling many fans are noticing, that maybe Stefanski is not eager to see Shedeur back on the field right now because his return would force a tough choice that the coach seems unwilling to make.
Do you have any health update on Kenny and Shedeur? Do you expect them to increase their level of participation in practice this week?
I hope so. We really have to take those day by day, so I don't know where that ends up towards the end of the week, but I'm hopeful.
Just a few days ago after the game, Kevin Stefanski spoke to the media and claimed that Shedeur Sanders was not the only quarterback in the race for the Cleveland starting job. He stressed that his focus was on developing every quarterback in the room and on the surface. That statement sounded fair, but when the depth chart was revealed, everything shifted. Despite Sanders delivering the most impressive showing of the preseason, he was still listed at the 4th spot, and what made it even harder to believe was the fact that both Dillon and Pickett were battling injuries at the same time, yet Sanders was still ranked below them. That decision left fans and analysts confused and created even more doubt about what was really happening inside the Browns organization, as if that was not enough. Another report surfaced suggesting Stefanski had no plans to use Shedeur Sanders in the second preseason game, which only intensified the fire. After all his strong performances, you would think he had earned another chance, but instead the Browns looked like they were pushing him out of the immediate plans, certainly not in the way the supporters expected. Then suddenly news broke that Sanders was injured, and the timing could not have looked more suspicious because it came just as the calls for him to get more snaps were getting louder. The team labeled it as simple arm soreness, something they said would clear up by the next day. But instead of calming anyone down, that explanation only made the doubt stronger. Was it truly an injury or just a convenient excuse to keep him sidelined? Many believe the entire situation still does not add up.
Because all I know is that what I keep hearing is what you're telling me what he can't do. Like my coach just said in college, but hey, find something that he can do. See, you keep telling me what Shedeur can't do. Well, your job as a coach is to put players in position and find something that they can do.
Even now, Kevin Stefanski keeps falling back on the excuse that the team is still evaluating the situation, but his expressions and body language reveal a different story. He does not appear eager to have Shedeur Sanders ready to play. The strange part is that there is really no one else on the roster who can step into that role. Dillon Gabriel even threw a subtle jab at Shedeur despite not being anywhere near his talent level, and still Stefanski decided to put him on the field. Analyst Chris Canty also made his stance clear, saying that Gabriel could never be the face of a franchise because leading a team is not just about what happens during the snaps, it is also about the way you carry yourself off the field, and Gabriel, by his own words, proved he is nowhere close to being that leader.
To set in terms of his post-game interview, with all of the mistakes that we saw, with the turnovers in the first half, there was clearly an opportunity for him to acknowledge his need for improvement and how he's got to stack days. He didn't do that. And to get the compare and contrast, the juxtaposition from how he handled his post-game press conference after his first preseason action versus Shedeur is absolutely jarring.
Dillon Gabriel entered the game with a cautious mindset, clearly more focused on staying safe than on creating plays against the first-team defense with strong protection in front of him. This should have been his moment to show real ability, but even with that advantage, he failed to deliver anything meaningful. His approach was too reserved, centered on avoiding errors instead of taking control. And once the first-team defenders rotated out, the weaknesses in his game became clear without that top-level support. Gabriel started to crumble, fumbling the ball and giving away turnovers. The instant pressure arrived, his confidence was gone, and that outing showed one simple truth: he is not the solution for this team. The bigger issue in all of this is Kevin Stefanski, his refusal to give straight answers and his hesitation every time the quarterback topic is raised have only added fuel to the controversy. Rather than providing leadership and clarity, he has added confusion, dodging questions, offering half answers, and hiding behind phrases like, "We are still evaluating" or "We will decide soon." That lack of certainty has become a bigger story than the actual games themselves, and on the field, the reality speaks for itself. Gabriel had every chance behind the first-team offensive line to prove he belonged. Yet he played timid, more concerned with mistakes than with progress. Once that shield was gone, his composure vanished and the turnovers and poor decisions piled up. It was the clearest example yet that he is not built to lead. As Chris Canty pointed out, a franchise quarterback is about more than what happens during plays. It is about presence, composure, and leadership. And now the real question falls to you: is Kevin Stefanski honestly making decisions in the best interest of the Browns, or is he dodging the Shedeur Sanders situation because he knows it could damage him? Has Dillon Gabriel done enough to earn another chance, or has he already shown he cannot be the guy? And most importantly, do you believe Shedeur Sanders is being sidelined unfairly, even though he looks like the most promising quarterback on the roster? Share your opinion in the comments, because we want to hear your take on this quarterback drama.